Welcome to MasterMind Minutes, the leading podcast for franchisors, franchisees, and entrepreneurs of all types. We have one guest, we ask one question, and we get one expert answer, and we do it in minutes, not hours. Hello again, and welcome to another edition of MasterMind Minutes. My name is Gary Okigrosso. I am the founder and managing partner of Franchise Growth Solutions and the publisher of the National Franchise Newsletter. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, MasterMind Minutes, which this is season 7, I'm proud to say, it's a fairly simple concept. We have one guest. We ask one question on one topic. I don't want to say one question anymore because it kind of evolves into a conversation. And we basically get one answer or one expert answer to that question. And we do this in minutes. It's usually 20, 25 minutes. It doesn't take us hours. And while we, as we always say, we realize that might be a bit of a tease, at the end of the program, we will certainly give you the contact information of our guest if you want to reach out to the guest or to their company and have a deeper discussion. And today, my guest, who I believe this is the most appearances. This is the 4th appearance for Doug Smith, who is the Chief Operating Officer of America's Best Restaurants, which is a national media and restaurant marketing company based in Northern Kentucky. And in his role, Doug helps lead the company's mission to empower independent restaurants to outsmart the large chains by telling their unique stories and building stronger connections with their customers within their community. Doug brings over 30 years of experience in the radio industry, where he developed a deep understanding of media, audience engagement, and storytelling. And I will tell you, he's a storyteller. You'll find out in a couple minutes. In 2019, he joined America's Best Restaurants along CEO Matt Plapp, playing a key role in transforming the company from a regional marketing firm into a national brand. And they are known as a national brand right now in the restaurant industry and the marketing side. Doug, before we get into the question, tell us a little bit more about you. I know your leadership skills, more about you and more about America's Best Restaurants and what you've been doing lately.
I appreciate it, Gary, and it's an honor to be on for number 4. I'm glad I still have the title, so that's awesome.
You do.
Yeah. America's Best Restaurants. We really have 2 different parts. One is our marketing division, which it's a concept pioneered by Matt back in 2015 that takes social media engagement and helps build a customer database from it utilizing Messenger. And so we're able to understand a restaurant's audience. Are they new, frequent, lost customers, and be able to drive trackable sales? That's the biggest thing. And as you said, one of our mantras is we want to help independent restaurants outsmart the big guys because they will never have a chance to outspend them. You know, they just have too big of a footprint. They've got locations everywhere. They got millions of dollars to add budget, and the independents don't. But strategically, they can outsmart them. And the other side of our company is a media division. That's our roadshow. And we've been compared, it's kind of like a diners, drive-ins, and dives type thing, but we created it 5 years ago, really coming out of COVID, to help independent restaurants tell their story. That was the biggest thing that we saw. That's the key point of differentiation, is these independents, they have a story. There's something there that the big guys don't. The individual franchisees may, but if you've got a one location mom and pop, to help them tell their story. So the roadshow grew out of that. And everything we do focuses on the restaurant's Facebook and social media. We don't air it on our own channel or some big network because we want the majority of eyeballs who see the episode, see their story in the marketing, to be within that 5 to 10 mile service area. And so it's a little different, unique, but we help independent restaurants 2 ways. And there's also the chance that we combine both the marketing with the visit. And it's really fun to help these independent restaurants grow and see results that normally they haven't seen.
Yeah, that's terrific. And I already knew that, but I wanted the audience to know. And I think it's terrific. Now, obviously, you know, what I do is I dabble with small emerging brands and try to turn them into the national big chains. I agree with you. The smaller chains have to sort of outsmart the large restaurant chains because they can't outspend them. That's for sure. Um, okay, so let's get into our topic today, and I guess I will sort of pre-frame by saying, hey, here we are. We're in the middle of the second quarter of 2026. The restaurant industry has changed over the last several years for sure. This year, what we're noticing, and I believe what you had mentioned before the program started, we're seeing some downward pressure. Um, we're seeing accelerating cost of goods. We're seeing smaller customer counts in terms of people actually come into establishments. We've seen the not just the rise, but the rise and the stabilization, if you will, of third-party ordering platforms. It's part of the business now,
Yep.
and of course AI. So, what I would like to know from you is where are restaurants going now to continue to grow and maybe combat some of these headwinds that we're having? Obviously, it's technology, it's smarter marketing, maybe it's menu engineering, those different things. I'm going to let you start and kind of tell us where you think restaurateurs should focus their attention based on the current market conditions here in 2026.
Yeah, their attention is split so many different ways now. 10, 15 years ago, you were an independent restaurant operator. You had a couple things to worry about. You're kind of running the business. You might have to work the line if somebody called out. But nowadays, these restaurant owners, they're wearing 15 different hats. They are the marketing person. They are the person who orders. I mean, you just go down the list. They have so much on their plate and they are facing headwinds regarding labor costs are up, food costs are up. Every time gas prices go up, those surcharges get passed. So their margins that are already thin are getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And it's really a struggle. And then you throw on top of that the fact that people's attention spans are even, narrower. Everybody lives on their phone, which we know that. But trying to capture somebody's attention. How do you stay visible? How do you stay top of mind? How do you get that visit from a new customer? Or how can you get that additional visit from a frequent customer? Someone who visits once a month. Boy, if you can get one more visit out of that person, you've already acquired them. That's bigger profit. So these restaurant owner operators are dealing with a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so the ability to kind of step back and realize where are the overall struggles and how can I maximize? I mean, AI is a big part of that right now. And
Yep.
uh, I've had multiple conversations. I'm actually part of a group or an organization called the COO Alliance, which is led by Cameron Harold. He's the gentleman who grew 1-800 Got Junk over the years from 3 million to 100 million. And I'm meeting with 400 COOs from around the world on a monthly basis and even doing some in person. And it doesn't matter what the business category is. AI, if you understand it, can greatly help you. And that's the one thing where restaurants, you can read about some of the bigger brands. There's AI now with the drive-through and the ordering systems and whatever else. But for these smaller independent restaurants, just understanding what you can do from a marketing standpoint. I mean, you can use these platforms to help you build a website, for heaven's sakes.
Yep. Yep.
You can help it. AI can help you create marketing campaigns or marketing ads or doing all of this. So understanding that potential that's out there to be able to potentially take these things off your plate or at least do it better because it's so important for restaurants. And again, whether you're big, small, or really any business, you have to be visible now. The people's attention spans are so small. You have 2 to 3 seconds to capture someone's attention.
Yep.
And so you have to do what you can to live in this thing right here, this
Yep.
smartphone.
Yep. So,
And
so I don't mean to interrupt,
no,
but
go.
before let's break some of those down before we go any further. So,
Sure.
attention. Okay.
Yep.
So, I focus on that because, I do a lot of marketing for my company through short reels. And why do I do reels and why do I do shorts? By the way, they're usually from 1.5 hour live seminars that are cut up. Now, why?
Yep.
As you said, people are scrolling, what attracts their attention and what's going to keep their attention. And the question is for how long.
Mhm.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about how restaurants not only need to grab someone's attention, but deliver that message in what, 50 seconds, a minute? How are they doing that? Or, I mean, are restaurateurs doing short reels? Are they hiring people to do it? What's their approach to that?
Yeah, you can hire. There are social media people out there. In fact, I was on the road the last 2 weeks hosting episodes for our road show, and I shot 13 episodes. Three of those restaurants had someone helping them with social media. 10 of them were absolutely clueless on what to do. And so, yeah, I mean,
That's my point. That's my
yeah,
point.
they had no strategy. But here's the thing that we always talk about, Garrett, is nobody picks up their phone, opens an app and goes, "Boy, I hope I see an ad." The
Right.
only place the only place people want to see ads is the Super Bowl or the big game. I don't want us to get sued for saying
Right,
it.
right.
So it's called social media, social first, media second.
Mm.
And this is where, again, AI plays into this is yes, grabbing people's attention. You own a restaurant. We know you have food. The majority of restaurants out there, big and small, they'll post pictures of their food. Okay, we get it. Video is what captures people's attention. So instead of taking a picture of your menu or your sandwich board with today's special, shooting a short video, grab your phone, shoot a video. You've got your lunch special plated. Hey, today's lunch special is this. It's a video. That's what creates and gets people to stop their scroll. But the other part of it is the storytelling behind the scenes. Show them how things are being made. Introduce them to you to your staff. Put your face front and center. Talk about the daily structure, struggles or structure and things going on. Be real. People can smell BS a mile away.
Yep.
And so if you're really being you, or what I like to say, creating videos is like a virtual table touch. Any restaurant, and it's amazing how table touches have really gone by the wayside, good table touches, but any owner manager worth their salt is doing a good table touch. And how was your visit? Anything we could do better? What about this? Having a conversation. Well, the video allows you to do that. It transfers that in-person contact to the phone. That's how restaurants can utilize content. Don't overthink it. But like you're talking about long form, short form, you can learn through AI really easy. They could shoot something, upload it into AI, and it can create long form, short form, all these different things you need and serve it to you on a silver platter. And then they take 5 minutes a day and post up what the AI helped you
Yep.
edit and really helped you to create. The days, again, you had mentioned 30 years in radio. I know that's how you and I really hit it off, was we were both in radio. The days of the big ad agencies and their $1 million, controlling everything, but that's by the
All the
wayside.
madmen are gone.
All the madmen are gone, man. You can do this stuff. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be super professional. Use your phone, grab it, be real, have that conversation, and then AI can help you edit it to where you've got like weeks of content out of one video, and it's
Right.
not that hard.
So, okay, so again, let's stop here and break it down a little bit more. So, I
Yep.
understand the be real. So, we have one of our favorite concepts. We love all of our brands. One of our favorite ones is a concept called Cookies and Cream, and it's an ice cream and cookie shop where we bake these delicious giant cookies. And we have a franchisee, actually, her dad owns three of these right now, but she's the face, and she does videos that are fantastic for Instagram for her shop. Now, not only is she showing the product, okay, but on some of her videos, she's actually and sometimes it's just music and caption, and she's just showing how an ice cream sundae is made, and they're
Mhm.
actually showing it being made and drizzling, and sometimes it's like fast, like it goes really fast, and then you see the guest like licking the ice cream cone,
Yep.
and by the way, and it's done with a cell phone, and
Yep.
it's not produced and it's not slick. It's very, very real. It is outrageously effective in terms of not only increasing the number of people who follow them on Instagram and the other social platforms, but their sales show it. There,
Yep.
I remember Matt once said, maybe he said it more than once, that likes and shares and comments don't pay the rent. Did I get that right? Did he say that? Right?
That was one of the restaurateurs in 2015. He said,
Oh,
"I can't deposit likes."
okay. Okay. So I
Yep.
was kind of close. So the thing is, yes, they don't. But if it leads to more foot traffic, if it leads to more discussion in the community, more talk, more word of mouth, which now is actually word of phone or word of
Yep.
social media, if you think of it that way, it definitely adds up. But I have to say, what you just described there's two things that come to my mind. Okay. One is, how the hell do you do it? And what the hell does it cost if I can't do it? So you're talking about getting AI and cutting it into short reels and all this other stuff. There are a lot of independent operators. Now, I underscore the word independent because forget the big corporate chains like a Chipotle or a Starbucks, but in a franchise system, generally speaking, even the owner operator of one unit has the benefit of the support of the franchisor that might
Mhm.
have a company or might have in-house people that do that on behalf of the franchisee. But we started out this conversation talking about outsmarting those guys with independent restaurateurs. What do they do?
What they do is the cell phone and AI has leveled the playing field that the independent has the same ability to do exactly what the big guys do.
Hmm.
It has cheapened down the overall cost. Again, back in the old days, because you and I both have gray hair, Gary, and we look really good with gray hair, by the way, but we're older. You had to spend the big money to get a good radio schedule or TV schedule or, the full page ad or do any of this stuff. The mobile phone and AI has allowed that one independent place, that the mom and pop restaurant I visited on Long Island 2 weeks ago, to do the same daggone things that the big guys do with the $1 million ad budgets. And you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It's just being real. But AI gives you that ability, and you can upgrade to, I don't, you got ChatGPT, you got Claude, you got all these things out there. For like $20 a month, you can upgrade a little bit, and you have the ability to create these prompts and these platforms, and they're so readily available that you could Google or even ask the AI, hey, I'm looking at how to do this with video, blah, blah. And it will teach you step by step exactly how to do it, and it will do it for you. So that's the cool part. The whole technology aspect, or it's, oh, you got to hire specialists to do this. That's all gone. So
So,
everyone's got the chance to do it.
so then two questions. So
Yeah.
it then is the sort of social media agency, as we've known it, say, over the last 15 years, is that dead? Is it evolving? Is it being seriously diminished because people can now do it themselves? That's question one. And question two, by the way, that underscores the fact that it's more than one question. Question two is, does that also mean, and I hope the answer to this question is no, does that also mean that grassroots marketing is dead? So is the social media agency as we know it dead, and is grassroots marketing dead because the average Joe who owns a restaurant can do all of this stuff on his own and learn all about it through AI?
I think it's the traditional agency model wouldn't be dead because you're going to have a number of people out there who say, that's cool, I could do it, but I'm willing to pay to have someone handle it for me. You're just going to see the number of the agencies out there, I think, greatly diminish. You've already seen it, and it's going to continue to diminish down because these agencies don't need as many people anymore because they have AI to really help them do it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're an owner operator that wants to get your fingers dirty and be in it, absolutely, you have those same tools available. So it comes down to how profitable are you, and are you operating so razor thin that you're going, crap, I can't afford anybody. Well, it's going to take a little bit of sweat equity for you to do it. but you can do it and you can do it really well. So the agency model itself, yes, it is going
So
to
it's
shift.
evolving. It's evolving.
Abs
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
grassroots thing, the grassroots thing, what I always tell folks, if you're marketing a restaurant or any real challenge, but restaurants kind of my thing, especially when you first launch, people always talk about the influencers and getting the mayor to
Mhm.
come and cut the ribbon. And when I was in the fresh Mexican business, when I was in the candy and gift basket business, my best grassroots marketing campaign was I would go out with little flyers, so to speak, and I would go to every hair salon and nail salon in 10 miles around my shop and I would have a special afternoon for people in the hair care or beauty industry to come into my shop. It was usually on a Monday,
Mhm.
only because that's when a lot of salons and things are closed. And it was a special tasting of whatever we were doing. And why did I do that? And I still do that to this day with our
Sure.
clients, simply because I knew that the next day, all those people who were cutting hair were talking about how they got invited to this gourmet chocolate shop and they were talking all about it. So, talk to me about grassroots marketing because, like I said, I hope the answer is not no, that it's dead, because I believe that's where a local business gets to really touch the community.
Yeah, no, I think it's more important than it's been in years for the grassroots because the more technology expands, the more people rely on either the AI or email or doing all these little things, the more important the grassroots stuff becomes because fewer people are doing it and it helps you stand out. So if you are
Ah,
doing like,
yeah.
so let me ask you, Gary, when was the last time you got a handwritten thank you note from anybody? It
Uh,
mailed to you.
well, okay, so that's good. Not since Lord and Taylor closed, because they would send
So
handwritten notes.
yeah, so I mean, here's one. We tell restaurants all the time.
Mhm.
Hopefully, whether it's through their point of sale or their marketing with us or whatever, I hope you have a list of customers who have a birthday. Okay, so most restaurants, and I sign up, I'm in thousands of email databases. I'll get an email. Hey, Doug, it's your birthday, and it's a generic email. I got it. We tell restaurants, you know what? Pick up the phone and call. Because imagine if it was your birthday, Gary, and you go, hey, Gary, it's Doug with Doug's Donuts. Appreciate you being a long term customer. I see that it's your birthday. I wanted to say, by the way, happy birthday. And if you get a chance, stop in, dude. You got a dozen donuts free on us to celebrate your birthday. I hope you have a great day.
You
They're
own me.
going,
You own
boom,
me. You own me at that point. You own me.
bingo. Bingo. That's grassroots. So
Yeah.
being able to connect, if you're in a strip center or you're around other places, getting out and going into the hair salon or the tanning salon or the Pilates place or whatever, and you kind of partner and say, look, I want to promote you to my customers and we do this and, help each other. That's grassroots stuff. Sending specially, messaged uh, flyer or a postcard where you don't have 20,000 people and you just send one to everybody. If you personalize it, like, craft brewers, I've had this conversation. I'm like, imagine if you reached out to someone that you know through your POS that is an IPA drinker and you were able to specifically message them about IPA, or you've got a new batch coming out, or they're into wheat, or they're into fruit, or whatever,
Hmm.
that's personalized. And so if you're gonna mail old school grassroots, but personalize it, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
And that is so important because again, most businesses have gone away from that. You'll get some, generic crap in the mail every once in a while. But if it's something from a restaurant or a business that took the time to specifically message you about something and not something generic, that's going to have a greater impact because fewer people are doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. And again, one of the things that I talk about when I talk about marketing and advertising, especially with our startups, I have this expression, nothing works a lot, but everything works a little. So for me, if some operators might say, well, Doug, I have a loyalty program in my POS, and that shoots out a text message to people thanking them or saying, hey, Doug, we haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Come on in. What I've noticed about those, by the way, and those are good. But I
Mhm.
think if you pair that with what you just spoke about, it furthers the impact. Because quite honestly, sometimes if I fill out a loyalty, and I'm tapping on the POS, and I either misspell my name or I have a typo, I'll get an email, dear Gart. Gart, because I messed up. You're a loyal customer, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, right, really. So I think again, everything together is what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
just to kind of bring this full circle, sort of as a last thought here, with respect to again the downward pressure that we're feeling now in the restaurant industry, what are the like if you could just I don't want to put you on the spot. Like, list a couple of these things that you just talked about that if I'm an independent operator and I'm listening to this show, I want to know, okay, wow, what's the actionable pieces that I could take, that I could execute upon like this week that might start to help me drive business into my restaurant?
No, great question. And here it is in a nutshell. Number one, if you have people ordering from you, they're in your restaurant or ordering online or whatever, they're spending money with you, do not let them leave through the threshold of your front door without capturing their information. Have to know who they are, whether it's through your POS, whether it's through your online ordering system, whatever. You have to know who they are because those are people spending money with you. They know, like, and trust you at a certain level, and you can't hope and pray they come back. Life
Right.
happens. You need to aim and expect. Getting that customer data is paramount. Number two, and I just had a conversation with a restaurant in upstate New York last week about this. They have Toast point of sale. They use their loyalty. They've got a bunch of people in there, but they have never downloaded that email list, uploaded it to Facebook. And I said, look, here's the deal. You've got like 20, there's like 21,000 people sitting in here. You can upload that data to Facebook, just one example, and create a custom audience where Facebook will go find people who look like those 21,000, and you can run a couple dollars a day in ads and market to people who look like the people spending money
Yep.
with you.
Yep. Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. So we could have deep, deep conversations and we could talk calculus, but the majority of these businesses need to understand arithmetic first.
Mm-hmm.
And arithmetic in today's marketing age with the mobile phone and with AI and with your point of sale systems, it's data. If you've got people spending money with you, capture their data.
Yep.
If you can get a
Data
phone
is gold.
number, oh, well, data is the new currency. I mean, think about it. I got a buddy who sold his dental practice. Well, what did he sell? He sold the database. Here's a list of my customers. Here's what I'm doing. Restaurants are the same way. That customer data is gold because when somebody comes in, if your food's good, your service is good, your atmosphere is good, there's no reason they wouldn't come back. You're
Yep.
just not top of
And
mind.
and by the way, I'm stealing, I'm letting you know right now, I'm stealing the line about we could talk calculus, but first we have to start with arithmetic. And the reason I'm stealing that, and I will credit you. The reason
Okay.
I'm stealing that is because that is a very elegant way of saying that start simple. So
Yes.
if you don't know anything about it and you open the book and you try to learn calculus, you're going to fail, and maybe you're just going to use it as an excuse not to do it, as
Yep.
opposed to starting in the simplest form of essentially 2 + 2 is 4. So I love that statement. I want to leave the program on that statement. So with that, I want to ask you because I could talk with you about this all day. I just would like you to share with the audience if someone wants to reach America's Best Restaurants or your marketing team or you, what's the best way to do that?
My email is Doug at americasbestrestaurants.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. You can connect with me there. The only thing I ask is if you reach out making a connection, don't send the blank generic message request. Say that you saw this, personalize it. That drives me nuts. That's like that's grassroots. Personalize it, which is what we were just talking about. I'm happy to connect with anybody. My cell phone number is in my LinkedIn profile, and yes, that really is my cell phone number. Happy to connect, happy to brainstorm to help independent restaurants or really anybody with that simple marketing concepts and strategies. Let's start with the arithmetic, worry about the calculus later.
All right, so it's Doug at americasbestrestaurants.com,
Yep,
and you're Doug Smith on LinkedIn.
you got it.
Great. All right. Well, Doug, again, you are the most often appearing guest here from the great state of Ohio, I might mention, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, uh,
Yes.
home of Doug Smith and America's Best Restaurants. But, Doug, thank you so much for being with us. I always enjoy speaking with you. And I know the audience always gets so much out of it when you're on the program. So I can't thank you enough.
Appreciate it anytime, Gary.
All right. That's great. Thank you.